Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make birdies. Now this is something that my mum taught me how to do, and it's a really simple pattern and form exploration. Can't wait to show you. Let's get started.
First of all, you will need an A4 piece of paper, positioned landscape or horizontally. Next, you'll need small squares of paper or card on which you're going to draw your patterns. You'll need some bright felt tip pens and a pencil. That's what you're going to be drawing your birdie outline with. A pair of scissors for cutting out. Please do ask an adult's permission at this point, or their help in cutting out your final birdies. Now, this is an example of one that my mum made for me to hang on my Christmas tree. It's made from thick card and decorated on both sides. I absolutely love it. It cheers me up no end, and I think you'll enjoy creating them too. You'll need a black pen. It doesn't have to be a handwriting pen, it can be a biro. That's to make your outlines of your birdie really sharp. First of all, I am going to create some patterns on my little tiles. I'm going to begin with small dot patterns on this first tile, building those up. Repeated pattern, creating the same shape again and again and again, uniform size. You'll see why this trick of making little pattern cards becomes so handy as we move through this activity. It can be used for this activity and so many more activities. I absolutely love it. Moving on to the next pattern, for this little square I'm going to draw circles, not dots but open circles. Again, repetition of the shapes, that's what creates the uniform pattern. You can draw larger circles if you like, totally up to you. Even draw circles within circles. Moving on then, I've completed that to my third tile, and these are called hatches. These little lines standing up like tall soldiers, all in line together, short dashes, hatches. As with the circles previously, you can vary the length of these, or start from small, increasing in length. This pattern is created using cross hatches, and this is a simple line dash. And I've decided to vary this one, a mixture of dashes and dots. There we are. Okay, next step, I'm going to turn these over and I'm going to jumble them up so that when I come to select at random my pattern, I don't know what I'm going to get. Jumbling up. Once you've done that, you can just move them to the side of your A4 page, because next step, pencil ready, we're going to start drawing our birdies. The key is simplified form. I'm inspired by the round, kind of dumpy shape of a little wren with its cheerful crooked tail. I'm not drawing all the feathers, I'm just drawing the form of the bird. Little beak and beady eye. This is partly inspired by the American artist Charlie Harper, and you'll find out more lessons inspired by his artwork over in the art lessons section. Third bird, eyes on there, they can all see me, that's good. Adding the wing, remember I'm not drawing on all the feathers, just the suggestion of the wing, these nice curved lines. I'm pretty happy with that. Yours can be any variation. I'm now going to decide on colour. This is a key step. I've got two of my primary colours here, red and yellow. Remember, primary colours are colours that can't be mixed using any other colours. I'm deciding, I think today, to use complementary colours. Colours that are opposite each other in the colour wheel. When complementary colours are used together, they create contrast. I'm also going to use colours that are close to each other on the colour wheel, like this orange. I'm filling in from the bird's tail feathers section. And you note that I'm working in quite short lines, building up my block colour. I don't want to see any white on this particular section of the bird's body. Now I'm lengthening my lines, because what I'm going to do next is merge, is sort of try to create an effect of blending two colours. I'm going to be blending my orange with my red. Red is a primary colour, and I love how bold these block colours are. They're not really representative of what the red looks like in real life at all. In real life, it's quite a brown muted colour, but I'm not trying to recreate something true to life. I'm taking inspiration from the little bird's form, and from there I'm playing with colour and pattern. It's so cheerful and so absorbing to get lost in this world of birdies. I'm lengthening the strokes here as I carry the red through into the block orange colour, smoothly moving my hand in one direction. Now I'm going to move on to my next colour, and I'm going to be using pink to fill in the rest of the wing. Once I've filled in all the colour of my first bird, moving on to my second, and I'm using light blue, a darker shade of blue and yellow. That's to give a bit of contrast. As before, I begin with the little yellow beak. Filling that in, short strokes here. I'm taking care not to overlap those lines. I want nice, clean, sharp lines for the form of my bird, the shape of my bird, its outline. I've decided to bring the yellow into its breast, and using now longer strokes of my felt tip pen. Look at how the curve of that little breast area matches the curve of the wing. And after that, I select one of my blues. I've got my dark blue here, working from the tip in a sweeping motion forwards into the rest of the body. Individual lines here. but I'm not carrying that colour into the wing, just the main body, following the rounded shape of my little bird. Then starting to fill in between some of these lines. I think I want to keep the area of colour at the tip more solid, and then as I move towards into the rest of the body, a bit sketchier with the colour, because I'm going to do the same blending technique as I did in the first bird. So now I take my light blue, I'm colouring in the wing. Typically it's a good idea to move your hand, your wrist away from your body when drawing, in order to get smooth straight lines. And now into the nape of the neck, and bring that blue to meet the yellow. Holding my felt tip pen quite lightly, almost as if it were a paintbrush. That's what I'm imagining. Meeting those lines there and taking care to draw around the eye. I tend to, when I don't want to overlap lines, draw around the shape with a thicker line, and that way I know I've marked it off. He looked a bit cross there for a second. Isn't the blue a wonderfully vibrant contrast to the yellow there? Next I'm moving on to my third bird, and the colours I'll be using for this are green, purple and a peachy orangey colour. This is what I'm going to begin with for the beak. Once that's done, I take my purple. It's actually specifically a blue violet, and it's a great contrast to the yellowy orange beak. It's opposite yellow and orange in the colour wheel. Now I've sped myself up here, but you'll be working slowly, smoothly, those pen strokes going in the same direction, following the curve of the body. Green next. I'm filling this in, round the eye and the beak. Green is a complementary colour to the violet that I've chosen. They say of complementary colours, a little bit of green makes red more red, a little bit of green makes purple more purple, and vice versa. They make each other pop, they make each other stand out so vibrantly, and that's what we want. We want our birds to bring a bit of cheerfulness to our homes. I'm taking my pink now that I used for the first bird, and I'm going to accentuate, I'm going to highlight the lighter part of the bird's under crest there at the bottom. And I'm going to carry this colour into the wing. Again, I'm speeding myself up here, but you're going to take it slowly, carefully, steadily, blocking in that colour till there's no white left. Of course, you can choose any colours you wish. These are just an example. Next step, the fun bit, it's pattern adding. And I'm going to do a bit of a randomizer here with my cards. I'm going to choose one. What's it going to be? It's my dots and dashes. That's what I'm going to choose to create the pattern on my central bird here. I'm using my black handwriting pen to do this. Again, a really strong contrast to the bright yellow. You could use a biro, that works too. And I'm just applying it uniformly, repeatedly. Which one am I going to choose next? Ah, the lines, okay. Let me see, what about the wing here? Downwards, downwards repeatedly. I really like using these pattern cards. Sometimes it's difficult when you're in the middle of a piece of work to think about what comes next. This kind of takes that thinking, that deliberation out of it and forces you into creativity here. I decided to leave a space there, and that's where I'm going to put my cross hatching. Very important. It's a small part of your birdie, but it's an essential part, that little eye. I'm going to outline the eye, the beak, and the rest of the shape. It gives your birdie a bit more definition, that clean, crisp, black outline. As you can see here, I'm turning my page. That allows me to draw my straight lines away from my body more easily. It's really starting to look characterful now, isn't it? Which one next? Ah, okay. That's my lines, my hatches again. Let this be a bit of a free flow exercise, this part. Move between your birdies. Let your little images tell you where the pattern's going to go. Some will suit certain patterns more than others. Depends also how much light space you've left. For example, the highlight here in the central bird, my blue and yellow bird, is the white main body. The patterns are going to be easiest to spot there. If I was going to draw over the dark blue, you wouldn't be able to pick it out very easily. Isn't that gorgeous? That is the song of the wren, the inspiration for my little birdies today. I'm putting the final touches into the tail feathers and body of my first birdie, building up layers of these circles. It's making it quite decorative, this pattern randomizing. You can use pattern cards for any artwork you're creating. It's not limited to birdies, not limited to any animal artwork, for any piece you create. My final outline to the tip of the beak. and the wing. I'm pretty happy with that. So I clear away my cards, tidying up as I go along, and I'm going to cut them out. Do ask an adult to help you with this, or for permission to use the scissors. The best way to cut them out is to first of all cut your paper into 3 sections, as I'm doing here. It makes it easier. You've less paper flapping around to have to work with. So I'm roughly trimming off the excess white, and that means that I can then be more precise as I'm following the outline, turning my page as I cut at the same time. When you finish, it's really important holding your scissors pointing downwards, put them away carefully, and place your birdies on a flat surface. Aren't they fun? In this little decoration, there's a hole that has been punched at the top with some string tied through and looped so that they could be hung off a branch. It doesn't have to be a Christmas tree, it can be anything. It could be off a doorknob, up to you. And also some little gems have been added on here, which you could do if you've any lying around in a craft kit. Now my birdies are going off to explore the clouds beyond. Birdies, why not have a go? Send your work in to our gallery and we can celebrate our fantastic flock.